Yeah, we live. I know
This is so
you watch
interesting.
Cognac Confessionals.
One time I was gonna take you to the Rodeo Drive.
Um,
Hold
Confessionals. Yeah. What's happening, world? Happy Friday.
on. Hey,
It's, yeah, all that good shit.
hey,
What's happening with it? Happy Friday. It's August Friday the 13th.
happy Kwanzaa.
All that good shit.
Since Kwanzaa's some old made up shit, it can be any day you want it to be. So for today, it's Kwanzaa.
How y'all feeling? You know, I'm your host, Deshaun. Here, Where Media Meet Studios, working with VJ TV, Feral Films, History in the Making Entertainment, Keepy Cloudy Productions.
Mm-hmm.
Another episode of Cognac Confessionals.
Yeah.
Got my co-host with me in the building, Feral the Most. Tell him what it do.
Hey, what's up, man? Just over here, man, with the, yeah, that I mean, you know what I'm saying? In the immortal words of Rakim, you know what I'm saying? If he's a sucker, hang up to the left of me, in effigy. You know what I mean? Yeah.
No.
Man, sometimes, man, it's just...
What's up, man? Get that.
Man, it's just literally, man. You know, that used to be my nickname back in the days, man. The epitome of ism. But you know what I'm saying?
Isms.
It's just like once the Lord came into my life when my grandfather died, man, I changed my ways, man. I had to subjugate my isms in order to navigate. To navigate this lane. You know what I'm saying? But every now and then, man, they get a glimpse of it, man. Because at the end of the day.
You know what I'm saying?
Even if you destroy who you were born to be who you want to be, who you really are is always going to shine through it.
There you go.
Because I'm like this. I'm one of them niggas like this. I'm going to tell y'all. People be like, man, you got so much ism. You got so much game, man. You should be like $1 billion nigga, this and that. And I always tell them like this here. I'm never going to be as big as you think I should be, but I'm always going to be as big as I need to be.
Boom. There it is. Ism. You know what I'm saying? Like you tell a motherfucker, you can't hide from yourself because everywhere you go, there you are.
Yeah. What the boy Jay-Z said, you can try to change, but that's just the top layer.
Mm-hmm.
You was who you was before you got here. Nah, but that's why I like it when I see a sucker doing something heroic or something nice, because I know really in reality that nigga went against his whole genetics to do that. So whenever I see a sucker really trying or something like that, I always applaud them and give them a hand because I know your natural inclination is to be a sucker, and you probably come from a long line of suckers, so it's inbred into your DNA. So when you go against your true nature to do the right thing, man, if don't nobody else love you, me and God, we love you.
Take me up yonder over the water.
They wouldn't want me to preach, man, because them niggas on them private jets and all that preaching, boy, I'll be like, what's that, what's the niggas, they been going up in outer space and all that, just to go in outer space?
Yeah.
I'll be one of them, was it Bezos and them? They just going up in the outer space just to be like, wow.
I've been there.
I'm going to go. Fuck it.
You know?
If the Lord willing and the creek don't rise.
There it is.
Man, but what's going on in the world, though, man?
It's been some mad bullshit brewing. You know? Some real mad bullshit brewing. We got... So, first one of the things I seen that caught my attention. In Frisco, they talking about, I think it's on the 20th, you got to show proof of vaccination to go in the restaurants and bars and whatnot. And, they really pushing this motherfucking needle on people.
I'm like this here. I went and got the needle.
And I don't have nothing against nobody who have got the needle. But it's just like...
I don't push it, though, or promote it. I got it. That was my choice. I'm not going to go against. I am, though, upset, though, with niggas who don't go get it and talk down on it, because a lot of niggas that I understand that talk down on it, I'm just gonna give it to you straight. You niggas managed to get high school diplomas and didn't even take biology or science.
Okay.
You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Shut the fuck up. But if you decide, hey, I'm leery of this, I don't want to take it, then by all means, don't take it. But some of the stuff that the ones who are really proponing it and putting information out there, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. In fact, you're actually stupid. So shut up. You know, you're not stupid maybe in general because you probably function in life, but you're stupid in regards to the science. You don't know no better. And when niggas say they're doing their research and stuff, what research are you doing? Because you don't have the scientific background to put what you're learning into context. Now, and then the people who preach for the needle, I'd be like, why? I personally got the shot because I just weighed the odds that it's a good possibility that this could help me get through it. And I saw some good people that I got scared because I saw some good people that I knew on a personal level who passed away from it. Right. So that's why I went and got it. But I'm not going to preach for it or against it. Just I see a lot of the people that's preaching against it. Right. They're too stupid to preach against it. You should just not take it and just shut the fuck up. And some of the people I see riding for it.
Should shut the fuck up also.
Yeah, because you just basically took it. Because like me, I took it because I was scared. You know, plain and simple. I thought it would be a goddamn shame. Because the only thing I do kind of fear death because I don't know what's happening once it's over with. You know what I'm saying? I was raised up in church. I know the things that I was taught. But at the end of the day, I'm scared of death. I'm not scared of too much of nothing. In fact, my not being scared has put me in situations that could have led to my death.
True. Yeah.
But I am scared of death. And so when people I knew started dying from it, and they said there's a shot that could possibly help you, I ran down and got it. But you weren't gonna see me all on the social media pushing it. Right. So everybody should make their own choice. But I do see a lot of niggas pushing against it, and I'd be like, blood, you know good and well you need this. But that's one of the things.
Personal choice.
Niggas read a couple articles, niggas read Wikipedia across a whole lot of subjects, and really think that they're opinionated. And see, I was a certified genius at one point in my life.
Yeah, my
IQ is you can check the mentally gifted. You can check the mentally gifted reg. I was literally in mentally gifted classes. And for y'all thinking like, oh, I was in gifted class too. No, you weren't. See, because they changed the shit in the 80s.
And then there was another group after Gate.
See,
then you had Mensa.
I was before Gate. See, and before Gate, you had what's called mentally gifted. And your IQ score, they give you what's called the Stanford Binet test in the third grade, and you have your IQ has to be 140 or above. Your grades don't matter. It didn't matter if you were straight A or you were straight F. Yeah. If your IQ was above 140, they put you in the classes. What ended up happening was you had two groups of parents came together to fight against that. You had white parents and Asian parents. Well, actually three. You had white and Asian parents, but they were together talking about little Janie gets straight A's and
she deserves to be in there.
Piano, so she should be in these classes. And then you had a group of black parents who were saying that the tests were culturally biased against black kids. So they would literally march me and my friends out as proof that the tests weren't culturally biased.
Because you were
so the compromise, they literally created GATE. And when GATE came in, it was gifted and talented
education.
And so kids who got straight A's, but the original intent of gifted classes was to find kids who were actually gifted. See, they didn't care if you were the type of kid who came home and did 8 hours of homework and got, and got straight A's. That wasn't the kid they were looking for because you were just from a good environment and you were structured and people were, and you had tutors. They were looking for the type of kid who could walk in and get an A without even studying because that's a true example of someone gifted. So when kids get straight A's, a lot of kids who get straight A's just simply do the hard work.
I skipped class.
They weren't looking for hard workers. They were looking for kids who were actually exceptionally gifted, who could read something and then ace a test on it. That's what they were looking for. Right. But because so many lawsuits, they then created gifted and talented
education. I remember that.
And that's where GATE comes from. So when you say you were in GATE classes, you actually probably weren't smart enough to be mentally gifted. Sorry.
You weren't in class with us.
Sorry, it's just facts.
It's okay. You weren't in class with us, but it's okay. It's all right.
But, and I say all that to say, many of you niggas didn't even, first off, you wouldn't have never qualified for mentally gifted. Sorry, you just wouldn't have. You just flat out wouldn't have had the test scores.
They wouldn't have had it.
And you weren't in GATE classes either. you could get into gate due to hard work or being from a structured environment. So, and some of you niggas managed in some kind of way get through 4 years of high school and get a diploma and took no science. So thus, I say all that to say, respectfully, you're not smart enough to be arguing against the vaccine. You just don't have enough knowledge. You just don't. And one of the things that the right wings, who are the most strongly against it, they're very good at propaganda. That's why you have a lot of black men running around spouting right-wing talking points or sounding like they off of Fox News, because you niggas are easily swayed, because once again it comes full circle to you're just not that smart. Sorry, hate to be the one to just tell you that.
Break it down to him, bro.
Sorry. But anyway, carry on, but man, just always remember, whenever you're ready to really spout a strong political opinion, keep it to yourself, because you're not smart at all. You lack critical thinking. You lack the context to even stand on the philosophy that you're trying to espouse. It's just
maybe they'll learn. They'll get it one day.
Well, see, the thing is,
teach one.
The thing is that the internet is the greatest gift to man, and it's also
the biggest curse.
Because with the internet, you can research the works of Plato. You can research the works of Aristotle.
Some of you niggas might be able to find a G-spot if you use the internet.
But the flip side to that, though, is some of the information that you ascertain off the internet and you think you're knowledgeable on the subject, there's a reason why some people have to go through 4 years of school to get a degree in that, because you need teachers to disseminate the information and put the information into context, teach you how to think critically about it, and that's a process that takes years. So that's why when someone sits up there and they have an MD behind their name and they say XYZ, you can't go read a Wikipedia article or go off to some Fox News type sponsored website, read for a few minutes, and really think you can counter what that person is saying. You don't have the critical thinking skills. You don't have the scientific discovery skills to even make an effective argument against that person, other than, well, I don't believe. All right, cool.
I hear you, and I understand your point, sir. But there are some people out there that are extremely gifted.
Most extremely gifted people actually can show something in context for that. If a nigga dropped out of high school, came back later, got his GED or something like that, and this and that, once again, you don't have, and even if you have an innate intelligence, you don't have the critical thinking skills to put to really understand what you're studying.
What they're saying, I hear you, but there are no absolutes. So
no, you can. Some things are pretty much.
Some
things are pretty much. Some things are pretty much. That's one of the problems with America. You know, good thing about Europeans, and when I say Europeans, I'm not necessarily meaning white people. I mean, when you go to European countries,
non-Western civilization.
If you go to places in Europe, motherfuckers will have no problem with saying, "Hey, I'm just a plain dude. I don't understand all that type of stuff. I leave it to the authorities." Whereas in America, we have been so, I'm just as good as the next guy, so we really have dummies running around who think that they're as smart as a PhD.
That's the result of participation trophies. But at the same time, I'm just being devil's advocate, guys. Just really though. I mean, that's my role. If you don't know, I'm devil's advocate. I play this shit well. I hear you wholeheartedly, and I consistently agree with you. But we do have anomalies. But to the point of,
you can't bet on an anomaly though.
I played it. I gambled. I play the odds.
Can you give us a definition of anomaly?
Something that's my nigga way of pronouncing it. But the whole context is it's something that's out of the ordinary against the grain. If something is 95% this way, you can't go with the 5%, because if you go against, that's like going to Vegas casino.
The underdog wins, you win big.
Yeah, but
that's why
betting against the house, in the long run, you always lose.
Not always.
You do.
Because it depends on who controls the house.
If you're betting against the house, then you're not the house. If you go to Vegas and you bet against the house consistently, you're going to lose.
It depends on who controls the house and your level of critical thinking.
If you always bet against the house, blackjack, the odds are 18%. Blackjack is the most favorable game to the players. in a whole Vegas casino because you have an 18% chance on a consistent basis of beating. Craps, things like that, it's 94% chance that you're going to lose. The only way you can bet against the house consistently and win is if you're a sports handicapper and you can study sports meticulously. But if you go in there on craps, or anything like that, mathematically, even with blackjack, the odds are so against you that anyone who bets with logic or reason would never bet against the house. It's purely entertainment.
Right.
But now, handicapping sports, you can occasionally go against the grain.
But that's why they call it a handicap.
But that's only in sports betting,
right?
You know?
But to the point of them pushing the vaccine on people, which it's free flowing. So we're gonna touch on a bunch of shit probably tonight. So
many of y'all should go get it.
And if y'all want to chime in, we wholeheartedly love and value your word and your opinion. Everybody has an opinion.
But you can still catch it anyway. Yes, you can catch it anyway, but it will lessen your possibility of death, which is the one thing many of y'all should fear, because I fear death because I fear the unknown. A lot of you niggas think you shouldn't fear death because, we all know niggas do the worst shit in town. Mm-hmm. They done killed motherfuckers. They done did all kinds of shit. Right. And the minute somebody finally blow that motherfucker's head off, everybody be like, oh, he's up in heaven looking down on us. And be like, okay, no, if you really believe in heaven and you go with the Judeo-Christian thing, though, everything in that nigga's life, every single day that he lived was against Christian values. So, no, he's not going to heaven.
Those values are valid.
No, I'm just saying, though, if we say this nigga's going to heaven and he's smiling down on us based on these...
that?
No, I'm saying...
I hear you.
Come on. You being devil's advocate.
I'm being devil's advocate.
But you being devil's advocate to the point of absurdism. We know when the average nigga say...
I think outside the box.
No, I'm talking about the average nigga when so-and-so...
Not the niggas that was in the smart people.
No, I'm talking about the average nigga running around here, or your old grandma...
You can't game a game.
With your cousin that's been killing motherfuckers since... high school, pimping, doing all kinds of wrong shit, damn near his whole entire life, and somebody finally blow that nigga head off, and everybody standing around talking about, oh, he's up in here. We gained the angel today. Oh, he's up in heaven looking down on us. Well, if you really subscribe to that point of view, then you know that nigga didn't go to heaven. You see what I'm saying? And I say all that to say, some of you niggas done did so much wrong out here that you need some more time to get together. So you should go get the shot, because you don't want to die right now from that shit, because you're going to burn in hell. If that's your belief system.
Exactly, because I was going to be devil's advocate once again, coming in saying, whose belief system are you buying into? The one that was... The
average Negro walking up and down the streets of East Oakland, we've been baptized, something, this and that, so we believe in that belief system at least to a degree, to at least give it lip service. We don't live by it, but we at least be like, oh, we gained the angel. Niggas, when niggas say shit like that, you believe in that Judeo-Christian thing.
For a reason.
So you know you're going to hell. You didn't gain an angel.
Where is hell? The concept of hell is a pilgrim phallus that was thrust upon us. Let's keep it a buck.
There's niggas out there on the street right now
Heaven and hell
just got through slapping a whole bitch.
The concept,
and will tell you, I believe in Jesus, man.
I don't fuck with it, but anyway, the concept of heaven and hell is mental. It's both wolves. Let's break it down. The fear tactic of the whole process of heaven and hell is to keep you in subjugation, to keep you a slave, mentally, spiritually, emotionally. That's what all that bullshit is. Call it what it is.
So what's the truth?
Once again, the thoughts that are being expressed by me are mine and mine alone. I just want to tell you, being devil's advocate and being a person that studies and learns things and happen to go down the rabbit hole, and being of an outside thinker, I'm just saying. I get you. I'm just saying.
Baby, talk
you know
to
what
me.
I'm saying? I get it. But I'm just saying. The concept of heaven and hell is an earthly punishment.
I'm talking about not the philosophical concept of heaven and hell. I'm talking about what niggas went to church on Easter and Big Mama.
The people who go sit and get lied to every Sunday, every Thursday, never mind. Let me go too far. I don't want to get banned again.
No, talk to him, man.
don't want to get banned again. But anyway, back to the vaccine shit. Them forcing it. My whole thing on this is my body, my choice. Just like when it came to women when they were saying, my body, my choice.
Let me be a devil's advocate.
Go for it.
Okay, when people say my body, my choice.
My body, my choice.
But we all have what's called a social contract by being a part of this society. So certain things you can't say, like, oh, the other day people was mad because Arnold Schwarzenegger said, screw your freedoms. Mm-hmm. But they stopped just at that hot take.
Right.
If they'd have let the rest of the sentence was, screw your freedoms, sometimes you have a greater obligation to society. So when a person says my body, my choice, well, we have what's called a social contract. That's why people who don't have kids pay taxes to go to schools. Mm-hmm. People that don't have cars pay taxes to go to roads. People that don't have people are imperfect.
Road scholar?
No, I'm talking roads, man.
Oh, okay, you're talking road. Okay.
Freeways.
Uh-huh.
People who are never sick also pay taxes that pays for Highland, because certain things are for the greater good of everyone. So even if I don't got no kids, I'm never sick, I don't got a car, I'm still going to pay for the roads, I'm still going to pay for the schools, I'm still going to pay for the county medical and all that, due to the fact that it's for the good of everyone. And that's part of the social contract, is that what I do needs to be in reflection for the good of society. Okay. So if I say my body, my choice, but there's a possibility that I could catch this, put a burden on the healthcare system, or spread it to others, then I'm breaking the social contract.
You got people who have social contracts where you shouldn't have people pimping little kids. You got Disney and all that. I'm just saying. So I get what you're saying, but I'm saying, to being devil's advocate, once again, y'all, that's my role, is devil's advocate, is to the same point of what you're saying. You got all these Hollywood situations, this damn, I want to say them, but I don't want to get banned. But you got these alphabet groups, and you got these other organizations who you can't talk about or you get banned, who subjugate people to so much bullshit, but you're supposed to take the holier than thou role. That's all I'm saying. I get what you're saying, but at the same time, the people who, the rules and moral obligations that you're speaking on are put in place by motherfuckers who don't follow the shit.
No, social contracts are been in place.
I know on a higher level, I get it.
Magna Carta.
I know it from a higher level. But I'm speaking on the economic, the social system that's put on most people today. That the moral contract that a lot of y'all subscribe to unwillingly but subconsciously, that you abide by, is put in place by motherfuckers who don't subscribe to the shit they push on you.
Such as?
The melanated woman is God. We all know that. It's not up for debate. I don't give a fuck what your religion is. I said what I said. But there's no way or no reason, morally, higher thought, that the melanated woman should be the most hated on this planet.
In what way?
But they are. The most disrespected on this planet.
In what way?
But they are. Every day in every way. Even by us. But when you know better, you'll do better. You'll get that at 3 in the morning.
Now, when you're saying the melanated woman, are you referring to the black woman in America, or
I'm speaking to the woman creator of all.
Because I could bring a black woman from America into a situation, and they are truly great.
Oh.
And I could bring a black woman from Jamaica or England or Nigeria. I speak on the melanated woman, period. And let me tell you, I don't think too highly of them.
I'm sorry for you, sir.
So,
I think highly of my melanated woman, my melanated
a black American woman is the greatest.
I don't differentiate. I don't dilute my coffee, and I don't drink coffee. But if I was to drink coffee, it'd be straight from the vine, because it's so divine. And in time, you will find that it will give you, truly, if it's in its right place, a peace of mind.
So you believe a black woman from Nigeria and a black woman from Oakland have the same mindset, ideas, and values and conduct?
People are a product of their environment, and they grow or are stagnant based on the social economic circumstances that they evolve in. I'm speaking on just the essence of who they are from the beginning. Fuck all the shit that the pilgrims and the other motherfucking detractors have put into place. I'm speaking on the pure essence of what we are from the beginning. Once you figure out why you chose to be born, holla at me.
There's some that believe that the original Israelites were black. And there was a 13th tribe that was the greater tribe. And they were defeated by the other tribes. And they resided in the area that was currently Nigeria, the Congo. And many of them were sold into slavery by the other ones. So many of us here in America, the black women in America, are descendants from that 13th tribe of the black Hebrews. And we are distinctly different than other black people.
So let me give you an ism, just based off what you just said. What's up? Matter of fact, let me shout out everybody that's watching. Shout out to Cuzzo DJ Barney B, Brother Brian Ames, Kat Bobineau, Kim, Tim Duncan, Jermaine, Sister Armstrong, Cynthia, Lisa Finney for tuning in. I appreciate y'all tuning in. Just a quick ism on what you said. Like you said, the 13th tribe. And you look at the histories that was mistaught to us, 13 is an unlucky number. Today happens to be Friday the 13th.
Happy Friday the 13th, y'all.
Great day if you really know. Think about it. You was given a misnomer on 13, but you just spoke on the 13 in a great sense. That's all. I ain't gonna go too deep because I want y'all to dig and do your own fucking research. I'll give you a little bit. It's on you to do the rest.
But but there are some, especially like the black Hebrews and stuff like that, that they do believe that
Happy Friday, Cuzzo.
We were a distinct and different tribe. And then, when you look at us, and when you look at us and you look at our values and stuff like that, when I say us, I'm meaning black Americans, we're similar in many ways to other black people around the diaspora, but we're also different as well. So, I don't know, but when people get to talking metaphysical things and religious type of things, but I do know, one of the things I do know is that a black woman in America is distinctly different from a black woman from those other places. And I was raised by black women from America, so I always praise and exalt them because I know their strength. Now, when some immigrant type chick comes over here, I notice that they normally have a certain level of inbred disdain for the black man here in America, and they truly ascribe or try to become close to white supremacy. So that tells me right there that their spiritual genetics are different than ours.
Okay.
So if you say the black woman is God, I'm gonna say the black American woman is God because she is different than the black women from Africa or the black women from the Caribbean.
I'm not gonna split the camel hair like that. The melanated woman is God.
The black melanated, American melanated.
Only melanated. Just once again, you got it. True, in some essence, but at the end of the day. So, do you think that you believe we were here first in this place, this corporation called America, or were we brought over?
It was a combination. There were indigenous Africans, and there was some that was brought over. However, when one subscribes to the absolute of we were already here, there was a transatlantic slave trade. So you sound stupid. When a person says, "Oh, we only came through slavery," no, there's statues and monuments showing that there were black people here way before Columbus. So it was actually a combination.
We were here.
Tiff is in the back door, the selfie.
Thousands of years before the Pilgrims who we created. Oh, you'll get that at 3 in the morning. We're here, but I don't go too deep because we didn't. I love.
Go deep on them, man.
No,
One
I
time
don't
for the
want
one
to.
time.
No, I'm not. I already got banned once. I'm not trying to get banned again. I'm just
Go deep on.
free flowing conversation. But back to the whole forced vaccination thing. You know, we gonna give y'all some games. And we gonna drop some gems, and we love y'all feedback. So y'all can chime in the comments because I can see the comments, and I will.
I can't see that.
I do. I can see them. So we love feedback, but my whole thing is this, looking at the history of this corporation, because it's not a country, and if you think this is a country, do your research. The force of a needle, I get the whole fear-mongering aspect of it. Hey, Sister Pringle, happy Friday. But that's what a lot of things are built on is fear. Fear, fear, fear. Because people are too reactionary to everything. Nobody's proactive. And there are no absolutes. So when I say nobody, I don't mean absolutely everybody. There are few that are proactive. But a lot of people are set and conditioned to be reactionary. And you live your life based on the decisions and the choices you make, which were influenced by the environment you grew up in. Mm-hmm. And based upon those interactions and your ability to absorb information, if you were exposed to outside the box thinking, which a lot of people may have been. Chick Deezy, what's happening? Exactly. Fear, false evidence appearing real. Depending on your level of critical thinking, as you spoke on earlier,
which many of you lack. I'm sorry. I just gotta be told true.
I hear you, but you can't count. There are no absolutes.
I said many, not all, but many.
Come on, we know it, man. Exactly. You look at it.
We all grew up in families and sat around
I get
at
it.
Thanksgiving
I'm riding with you,
but
I'm rooting for the underdog.
Big Mama and all them spout different things.
And the granddad bought the house, but it's always known as Big Mama.
And then we get grown and we realize, man, these niggas was hella stupid.
Oh, true. We've all done dumb shit, but I mean, the thing about it, the conditions that people were brought up in. The constant misinformation, good or bad.
Yes.
As you spoke on the internet earlier, the internet is a gift and a curse, but everything is a gift and a curse when you look at it duality, because that's how you really should look at it. You should look at both sides, or 3 sides, or 4 sides, or 7 sides of everything, but most people don't use their brain or think deep enough to try to look at all the possibilities. People usually look at you look at a diamond and a person can say, I see green. Another person can look at the same diamond, I see pink. Another person can look at the diamond and say, I see purple. Another person can look at the same diamond, I see red, I see green. You might have that one out of, say you got 100,000 people. You may have 17 to 200 people that say, hey, I see all the colors in this diamond. What we need to do is get more people to learn, to open up your mind to see all the colors. Because, like you said, the people who sit here and push you need to get the vaccine because this. Same with the people who say you can't because and whatnot. Even though I'm an anti-vaxxer by nature.
Why?
But because I study shit. I go beyond the Wikipedia and the Instagram posts and whatnot, and the fear. And I don't mean fear as, like I said, false evidence appearing real. I'm dealing with the fear and being cautious of the bigger picture, because there is a bigger picture, and to not think that there's a bigger picture is like a person who sits on a train track and close their eyes and thinking the train gonna not hit them. The shit will run you the fuck over.
But, and here's the but that I would have in the question to you. If you study and you actually know how the mechanism
What's up, Cuzzo?
that vaccines
Mr. Chambers.
work, what would there be to fear of the vaccine?
Okay, let's go on the
Or
history.
any vaccine.
Let's
So
go
you
on the
said
history.
You're anti-vaxxer in general.
In theory. In theory,
But I'm saying,
but at the same time, remember,
you said you
I was a
went
kid.
beyond.
I was a kid who had. We all had to get the polio vaccine, and polio's been eradicated. So I'm not saying I'm a science believer. I believe in science.
Okay.
So you can have opinions, but science is science. When you study the true essence of science and what
But
it
that's
is.
a contradiction. What you
No,
just
it's
said.
not.
You said I'm an anti-vaxxer in general.
Be-
So that means
I-
you're generally opposed to vaccination.
Oh, so
And
I
I'm
will
saying,
I will break down what
how
I
is that
mean.
possible?
I will break down what I mean. When it comes to this corporation and the way they've used medicine to torment, dismantle, sterilize, and depopulate us, I am not with that. I will always be hesitant to anything this corporation is so willingly. They talking about, I'll give you 2 joints, you go get the shot. You can get 2 burgers and some Pepsi, go get the shot. Listen to me, anytime your enemy is so willing to give you something that you may need to get something they offer, there's something behind that. I don't give a fuck who you are. I once again, the science. Now, when I say anti-vaxxer, I'm just speaking on because of the ills of this corporation, what they've done to our people. Historically, which is factual, not opinion. This is not my opinion.
I don't know.
This is
That's
pure
borderline
facts.
theoretical.
This is pure facts of the studies of what they've done to us at the fear. It's one of the reasons, to our own detriment, they've put the fear of going to the doctor, getting checked out, doing all these things. They've done such a great fucking job of it to our own detriment. To where we fear.
That's
Hold
a
on.
contradiction in terms.
No, I'm just being honest about the shit.
it's a
There's no
contradiction.
absolutes. No, I'm just
There's
being
no absolutes, but to say
No,
there's
the thing
absolutes
is,
doesn't line
if
up
you're
with
honest,
a contradiction.
being honest will admit and allow that there are ebbs and flows to a situation. That's what pure, true honesty is. There are no absolutes. You look at Star Wars.
I'm lost.
Don't get lost. Ride the train. Look at Star Wars.
I'm lost.
I'm gonna
Because
use.
you're talking about absolutes, but then
There are no
making a
absolutes.
contradiction, so
No, I'm not contradicting.
you can say there's exceptions, baby.
There are no absolutes, and there are
And
exceptions.
not even
True.
trying to get caught up in semantics.
Right. But the true essence of it is there are no absolutes on some things. There aren't. There is a gray area
Big
on
Bob,
some
what's
things.
up? Now
Brother Ankins, what's happening?
you said that there's a fear of us going to the doctor and stuff
Yeah.
for a detriment. So you're saying that due to fear, we've been detrimental to ourselves
Yes.
and getting health care. But then you're saying that in the sentence of context of advocating against something that is some health care. That's a contradiction, my brother.
No, I'm just speaking truth to the point. Because no, I get what you're saying. No,
You
listen.
can't
Let me
make a
explain it.
contradiction based on something
Yes, I-
theoretical and then say, I'm speaking truth.
That is truth. No, the truth is we've been put behind the 8 ball, to use that as reference, to where we fear going to do healthy things because of what has been done to us. In some cases, going to the doctor, getting checked and all that is healthy for you, is great for you on certain levels. Yes, I'm not saying that because the science proves that is true. When I say
you
this,
want to pick and choose when you
no.
follow the science.
What I'm saying, no, I'm not picking and choosing when you follow the science.
Okay.
Following the science is paramount, but at the same time, who's behind pushing the needle? What you got to follow a dollar? You follow a dollar, you find a Coke trail. Follow a dollar. You look at where all this stuff. Who's behind all these movements? You know, that's what I'm speaking on. I get it. Medicine, natural medicine, that the earth, everything you need in your life comes from the earth naturally. What happens is the greed of the pilgrim has made it to where they synthetically make everything and for profit, and they push that on you. When everything, like I said, everything you need comes from the plant, from the ground. Everything you need, scientifically proven.
Only problem I have with that type of advocacy is that you got a lot of people telling people, hey, you don't need the vaccine. You just need to get some type of holistic lifestyle or get in tune with nature, right? My thing is this. You cannot have had a 40-year life of McDonald's, soda, no exercise, fast food, 40 years of a certain type of lifestyle, and then say, oh, I'm going to start eating wheatgrass, and thus I'll be safe from this COVID. What you need to do is get the vaccine and also adopt a healthy lifestyle. So when we come back around to future things in the future, you'll be protected. But if the ship has been going this way for 40 years, it can't turn around and get back to this point in 2 or 3 days.
I ain't saying in 2 or 3 days. Everything takes time, consistency, and discipline. Because
that's what I'm saying. People have been living a completely undisciplined life for 40 years.
Because remember,
don't go suddenly start eating healthy.
They got you thinking
that'll protect you.
Land of the free, home of the brave, free choice. You've been given the illusion of inclusion and freedom so much to where people overindulge in everything because it's my right. I can do it. In some instances, yes, no, true, you can do what you want to do. True. But at the same time,
and this is where critical thinking comes in.
Okay.
Yes, it is do what you do. Yeah. But critical thinking also tells you I'm a part of society, so I have to do what I do within the context of society. Okay. And the average American lacks that level of critical thinking, so they think it's my right, it's my God-given right, this and that. But your God-given right is to be a part of this society. So what is for the good of society?
Right is to just wake up in the morning.
What's good for me?
Be productive.
That's where the game changes. And the average American doesn't have the thought capacity to understand where they fit into society.
But whose society do they fit into?
Well, every day we go outside and we live in the Oakland society.
Now, whose society? It's who controls the society that
I mean,
you have to think of.
That's a whole
exactly.
argument.
I'm saying.
See, that's a philosophical argument that doesn't fit in there because
fits.
There's a literal society that we're living in.
You cannot turn a blind eye.
There's a literal society that we're living in with rules, regulations, people that we interact with on jobs, our family. There's an actual, so we don't even have to think about a hypothetical society, a theoretical society, a utopian society. But there's an actual society that we live in. Now, what's good for the society that we live in?
So
take the vaccine and stop the spread. That's what's good for the actual society.
So we talking about moral obligations, right?
Now, the utopian society, we all would have been eating greens every day, never ate a pork chop, never ate a McDonald's, and we run 2 miles every day and
because
we get 8 hours
rules
of sleep.
Everything around.
But see, that's the utopian society. So in that society, I can say, well, you know what? I'm not going to take the vaccine because not only am I completely healthy, all of my friends and family are completely healthy. That's utopian. The literal society is I got type 2 diabetes and everybody in my family got some type of, but I'm just saying, I'm saying we
let's
can't
go deeper. Don't surface scratch. Go deep.
No, see that's a whole different
why is the condition there?
I have to make the decision on the vaccine based on what is actual real. What is real?
What's real?
My grandma couldn't survive with COVID. None of my aunts can.
I get that.
That's actual reality.
I get
so
that.
I can't say, well, my right, my freedom, because I have to think if I don't get this and I spread that to them, I will kill them.
I get that.
That's actual. That's actuality.
I get that. I get that, and so I'm gonna speak to that because I understand that, and I hear it. I hear you, but ain't that the ultimate checkmate?
I mean, it is reality. It's the world
keep it
that we live in.
I'm just saying, ain't that the ultimate checkmate of the people who have the agenda? And I'm just being devil's advocate once again, but I'm a free thinker, so I say what the fuck I feel. But I'm just saying, ain't that the ultimate checkmate? I put you in the box in the position to false evidence appearing real. Once again, like I said earlier, if I put you in the mindset of thinking that if all these conditions, these appendages are in place, you won't be able to do this. Now I got your mindset thinking I have to do this. That's all I'm saying. It's the ultimate checkmate. And most people, I'm not just saying niggas, most people don't think outside the box. And that's why McDonald's run the world. That's why Walmart run the world. That's why Amazon run the world. That's why the motherfuckers who we'll never rub elbows with, money-wise, run the world. Because a lot of people don't think outside the box. Think outside the box, come back and destroy the box. Fuck the box. But I'm a square. I'm just saying. You know. So, like I was saying, fear. Mm-hmm. Because if I constantly prod you with fear, tactics, fear mongering, and I take away your God-giving liberties of being able to go into a restaurant anytime you want, being able to travel anywhere you want, your human, Hueman, you'll get that at 3 a.m. if you know what I mean, rights, and you violate them, if I take those liberties away from you and push you in a position to where you have to conform to this shit that I'm pushing, it's the ultimate checkmate. I don't give a fuck what religion you are, what your thought process is. All I'm saying is think about the shit on a deeper level. Fuck the surface. Because at the end of the day, the ocean don't give a fuck about how many people come to the beach. I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying, bro.
I hear you.
I'm just saying. It don't.
I hear you completely.
It don't. The ocean don't give a fuck about how many people come to the beach. They're gonna come anyway. Why? Because you've been programmed to think the beach is so lovely.
But back to your comment of we gotta think outside the box and then burn down the box. We also have to understand, and that goes back to what I was saying earlier about social contracts, and within that,
I'm with you.
As much as I can see the box, and as much as I can extricate myself from the box if I chose to, there's so many people that I love and care for that are within the box. That me burning down the box and stepping outside the box would do nothing for them. So I willingly sacrifice myself to the box because of I'm not some loner sitting in a incel sitting in a basement. So I actually interact with other people. I'm actually a part of my segment of society.
I get that.
I see the matrix.
I get that.
I see the matrix, but I also see my loved ones in the matrix. So I willingly stay within the matrix.
So then you kill yourself, basically. I get what you're saying, but I'm just speaking. I'm just speaking as an observer. Listen to me.
It's a noble sacrifice.
But still, you kill yourself to oblige your enemy, or do you pull yourself out and allow yourself to continue to teach the people to think outside the box? Because here's the thing:
is my hate for my enemy stronger than my love for my people?
But at the end of the day, if you allow, it's still an ultimate checkmate. If you fall under the guise, the rule
because we're playing a game that we cannot win.
That's the defeatist thought process right there.
No, I understand the game, and I've manipulated the game to the benefit.
But if you believe you can't win, you've already lost.
I'm not
the person who thinks they're the smartest person in the world and the person who thinks they're the dumbest person in the world, they're both right.
I'm not trying to win. I'm trying to manipulate the game to make it because I have 100 people who I love that I want to make sure that they good. So if I can use my position within the game to manipulate the game to make their life easier, that's better than me saying, I defeated the game.
So you want to be moral hospice?
No, not really. Because it's not.
It's still a slow death.
Certain things are morally praiseworthy but not morally obligatory. And self-sacrifice isn't necessarily one of them unless it truly is for the greater good. Because some people can do self-sacrifice to appear noble or to get that praise of you're always doing it for others. No, but they actually have done nothing but just did something where they basically set themselves on fire for niggas to praise them.
I don't want to be a martyr.
Yeah, exactly.
I get what you said on
I'm
that.
talking about instead of me trying to achieve some type of individual victory, I make sure that I achieve victory for several. And if I don't destroy the box within that, then it's all good, because I can say I sacrifice truly for the greater good, not for my ego.
Yeah, right.
So if I go burn down the box, that would just simply be for my ego, for somebody to be like, oh, you're so smart, you're so great. But if I burn down the box is burnt down for a lot of people who wouldn't be capable of surviving without the box. So if I take my brains and my talent and get within the box and make sure that my people in the box are good, that's a true sacrifice for the greater good, not a sacrifice for ego.
I hear you. In a sense,
anybody's ever taken.
I hear you. I hear you. I hear you in a sense. Any of y'all got some comments and opinions? Please post
the ego or the id.
So I hear you. I hear you.
The id is who you are. The ego is what you think you are.
I hear you. I hear you in a sense.
So the id was sacrificed for their peoples. The ego was sacrificed for its own gratification and being fed.
But see, that's the thing.
It's basic philosophy.
I get that point of it, but I just speak for myself because I can't speak for nobody. My thought process on that is it's never been about me. So I'll gladly burn to make sure my folks is okay. Always have. But it's never been about me. Deshaun doesn't have an ego. I have different personalities.
Everyone has a degree to an ego.
I was speaking
now,
on
some
that.
of us are strong enough to defeat our ego,
right.
But everyone has an ego.
I have different personalities. I have charisma. I have show you right. I have faux. I have. There's a few of us in there, and I'm humbly cocky. True,
yes,
because I am. Because I believe in me.
What's up?
I believe in me. And but the thing is, the sacrifice, I get what you're saying. So I'm just speaking on your...
There's levels of sacrifice. There's the supposed noble sacrifice that's really to feed the ego, or there's an actual sacrifice for the greater good. And you
the greater good
say, I benefited this person, this person, this person, so it was greater. Like I said, there's certain things that are morally praiseworthy, but not necessarily morally obligatory.
I hear you. And I hear you. But what I will say is... And I can't speak for niggas, or excuse me. And when I say nigga, I mean newbie, intelligent, God gifted African. Look it up. That's my term. We hashtag that shit. But for us, you gotta really put it in perspective to your personal shit. And so when I speak on it, like I said, I understand what you're saying. I hear you. When I speak on it from my thought process of it, the sacrifice isn't for ego. So it's mouth to ear. You gotta teach the people inside the box how to come back and destroy the box. Because as long as you, and this is the thing, as long as you condition yourself to think you have to live inside the box, I don't give a fuck how much, whatever you got.
No one has to live inside the box. Let me finish. We can all make choices.
I get that. But I'm just saying, once you allow yourself to think that you have to exist inside the box, you've already defeated yourself. You may overcome it. You may. That's possible. I'm not saying that's not possible.
Those who recognize there is a box can either choose voluntarily to stay within it or to leave it.
True.
No one is, because anyone who's conscious enough or woke enough, so to speak, to recognize the box, the matrix, whatever you want to call it, that person, if they stay with, if you're woke, aware enough to even recognize that there is a box, there is psychological change, whatever manifestation that you wanna place it. If you're woke enough to recognize that this even exists, then you then know that you have the choice to remain within it or leave it. But many people who recognize it and choose to remain within it is usually for the benefit of others, or to manipulate it to be praised or take leadership of it or something like that. Like what the poor righteous teachers say. There's the 5%, who are the poor righteous teachers, and then there's the 10% who have the same knowledge that the 5%ers have, but they use it to exploit the 85% who are deaf, dumb, and blind.
Right.
So.
And we got to get beyond that.
Yeah. But I mean,
it's gonna take a lot. It's gonna take a humongous. That's some shit I just came up with. Effort, because I agree with what you're saying. But what I'm saying is,
yes, Candace, next Friday.
I got something for next. But no, Candace, you definitely welcome.
Candace Bryant. We got Candace Kugler in the back over there.
We got a few here.
What are you saying?
I hear you, and I agree with a lot of what you're saying. What I'm saying is,
why wouldn't you agree with it all?
I'm just speaking on the point of when we.
Talk to me, brother.
I will admit, I'm just telling you, I'm telling you my thought on it, and it could be maybe I'm taking part of it left or right, and that's possible. I'm forever the teacher and forever the student. But what I'm saying is, when we commit to relying on in that box, that's what I'm speaking on. I hear what you're saying. If a person is
woke in regards to the box, and they're never reliant on the box.
Right. That's what I'm speaking on.
You can see the strings. You can see the puppet.
Okay, so now you're speaking on what I'm speaking on. Exactly. That's what I'm speaking on. Because once you see it, you have a responsibility. Now, once again, everybody ain't ready for the shit. They're not. And so when we speak on ego, just to take a pause and go, once you start learning things and understanding some things, it's natural to get an ego. In a sense. To be like, oh, you
ego is a dangerous thing.
It is, very, very much so. Because now you're like, oh wow, I've been given the ism of something, and I'm not saying this is for everybody. But it's natural for a lot of people to be like, man, y'all should have known this. This is what we going through. And for you to be like, man, y'all tripping. That's natural. But at the same time, don't burden or dismantle your teaching with the ego. Because like ego is a motherfucker.
It's powerful.
It will destroy. You can be a person you can have a room of 100 people, and you could be spitting and speaking on some very deep, meaning and powerful things, but your ego can make your delivery and everything off to where people don't understand what you're saying, or they don't want to hear what you're saying. So that's true, in fact. In itself, because the thing is, education is something that you never finish. I don't give a fuck who you are. Education is something you'll never finish, and if you think you finished education,
that's true. Lamar Russell had a great point.
What did you say? I can't see it yet. It didn't come up yet.
You say understanding your ego depends on your level of self-awareness.
Right.
And that's absolutely true.
That's right, bro.
Like I said, everyone has an ego, and some people's egos are negative. Low self-esteem. It manifests in different ways. Some people's egos are beyond their accomplishments.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, but basically. But if you truly have a level of self-awareness,
right,
then you're usually, in most situations, able to master and control your ego.
True.
And if the ego starts going negative, you can turn it around for yourself. And if it goes beyond that, you can tune it in, you can rein it in. So good or bad, if you have self-awareness, you can control you usually. But not sometimes, you're human. You can get pissed off, you can fly off the handle about things, but...
People do.
But so a lot of people, what they really should, and I hate using the term woke.
It's because it's watered down. It's trendy.
But so aware, I guess what like Lamar said, self-awareness is a better term.
Yeah.
A lot of people, I would say, what we need to strive towards is to have a level of self-awareness. And then a lot of the things like, because see, if you don't have any self-awareness, it might look like me and this brother is diametrically opposed.
We're not.
But if you have a level of self-awareness, then you can hear me and you can hear him.
And
that's part of self-awareness is that if one person is coming from the left, one person is coming from the right,
but we meet in the middle.
You can basically, exactly. You can see the big picture.
Yeah.
And you can see where, because lots of times it ain't what people are saying, it's where they're coming from. And if you're not self-aware, you can get hung up on the semantics of what they said,
yes,
or how they said it, or if they misaligned the word or something, and you get caught up with that, when really what you need to be trying to figure out is, fuck what he's saying. Where is he actually going with this, and fuck what he's saying, what is he actually trying to say? Basically, what does he mean? What's his true intent of his words? And when you're self-aware, you can
where is he moving
out.
the pawn on the chessboard?
Yeah. And that also helps you when you're looking at when the powers that be say certain things or do certain things.
Yes,
you can then get a clear picture of seeing where are they actually trying to go with this.
Right.
And so when you get those things, you can have a better life, and you can be an enlightenment to those around you, because, a lot of people are going to be influenced by you without you even knowing.
True that.
So you always got to be careful with what you are presenting, because there's people that can only be around you one time and be profoundly affected by you, and there's people that can be around you every day and just take you for granted and don't be affected by you. But either way, you still got to be for sure at all times, whether is what I'm saying truthful, is what I'm saying factual, is what I'm saying has a good intent, are my actions for the good of everyone or simply for the good of myself, and be honest with yourself.
True.
And if you hold yourself in it, so then it don't matter what religious system you ascribe to, what morality you ascribe to, whether you're rich or poor. If your intentions, thoughts, and actions are always pure, or at least intended to be pure, then everything's gonna be all right.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, and. Hey, you said it eloquently as always, my bro. Now, put some shit in because we want to cheers to that.
Oh yeah, we're gonna toast to that.
So eloquently is all, and to his point, people ego is the fucking, like you said, the concept. Like I was saying earlier, the concept of heaven and hell was given to you by people who wanted to put you in a position
to control you, like you said.
Exactly. Whether you got that how I said it, hopefully you did. If you didn't, we'll work on that. Everything around you is around you for a reason, good, bad, or indifferent. It's on you to interpret it and understand to be able to interpret it. I'm there. At the end of the day, a lot of this shit that has been put upon you, on your plate, in your mental, on your TV screen, in your music you listen to, in your interaction with your coworkers, in your television, in the movies you watch, in the TV shows you choose to watch, the movies, the whatever it is, it's all been put there for a reason. It's either good or bad. Some may be both. But you have to be self-aware to be able to decipher what the fuck it really means. And I hope and pray that you all achieve self-awareness to be able to decipher what the fuck you being fed. Because it takes a lot to... You can be 20 and you've been given McDonald's, because we're gonna use them. No shots. I don't eat that shit, but
I try not to.
I don't at all ever. I've stopped.
Well,
but
absolutely,
you can be fed McDonald's your whole life, and McDonald's is like Ruth's Chris Steakhouse to you.
Yeah.
And one day somebody brings you another restaurant's food, and you've been so used to McDonald's all your life. Now you've been like, wait a minute. Oh, man.
Quick story. When I used to hustle way back when.
Yeah, we all.
Because I'm a kid of the crack era.
Yeah, we did.
And we literally have racks in our pockets, right? And we would go get, I remember, the Big Mac value meal, which was the burger, fries, and the drink, was $2.11.
Yeah.
And we would have 2 or 3 G's in our pockets and go get this $2 meal. And man, let me tell you something. I loved Big Macs. The taste, I was like, oh, just in heaven living the Big Mac.
You was a kid. Right? That was the dream to be like.
One time
I'm going to get it. I'm going from the cheeseburger. Not to cut you off, but remember, as a kid.
Yeah. Oh man, you love
psychologically, I went from the cheeseburger to maybe a double cheeseburger. Remember, they didn't make double cheeseburgers that often. Right. But you was like, oh, I'm going to the Big Mac because psychologically that's where they trained you.
When we started getting our own money and we could go in and get our own Big Mac. Because you ask moms for a Big Mac when you a certain
age. You got some Wonder Bread.
You got some Big Mac money. But then one time we went into a McDonald's. Well, we was this OG. It started coming around, and we was like, man, we finna go get something to eat. We was like, ride with us, OG. And he's like, going to McDonald's. He said, you niggas eating that shit? And we like, nigga, there's nothing better. Because
that's what you're conditioned to.
And he said, man, you niggas got money, man. Let's go somewhere and eat for real. And I'm sitting there like, let me tell you, this is how dumb we was.
Thank you.
He took us to this restaurant that was a steakhouse.
Yeah.
I ordered the prime rib. This how dumb I was.
But yeah.
And it wasn't I had pockets full of money. I ordered the prime rib. When they brought me out the prime rib, I was like, what the fuck is this? You think I'm some type of stupid nigga or something? I ordered the prime rib. You know what I thought the prime rib was? That they was going to bring out the best ribs. So when they brought prime rib, I'm like, where are the ribs? The menu said prime rib, but that's
you only know what you would know until you're allowed to know anything else.
I had never been nowhere and had never really been exposed to nothing. And I was really up in the restaurant about to act the fool over them playing with me behind these prime ribs. But then once I got to eating ribeyes and I got to eating filet mignon, this and that. Don't get me wrong, I still ate McDonald's after that, but McDonald's wasn't a treat to me anymore. McDonald's was just something like, oh, let me grab something to eat. But there was a point in my life when I'm sitting there eating a Big Mac and it's just like, oh, this is so great. But then when you first time you eat a T-bone or a porterhouse, a motherfucker can't really bring you no Big Mac and say, here it is. Yeah. You're going to be like, oh, I'll eat it because I'm hungry.
I remember I had a porterhouse when I used to eat.
But I say all that saying, like you said, McDonald's, like to not necessarily knock McDonald's, but it's just a perfect metaphor that many people that think McDonald's is good has really never ate anything beyond that. Hell, if you go to a steakhouse and order a burger,
you kill yourself.
That burger, after you eat that burger, if somebody come try to hand you a quarter pounder, you're going to be like, all right, eat it if I'm hungry, But McDonald's is just a perfect metaphor of many of us have never really experienced nicer things, so we think that we're happy with that.
That's
but when we do get exposed to nicer things, we're not happy with that anymore.
That's that inside the box, and that's when I say inside the box. That's all inclusive.
Yeah.
But I want to thank everybody for tuning in. It's this Good Friday. Y'all
appreciate could have been. You. Yeah. Now, who's next week's guest? Who you got? Let's pump them up.
Next week, so we got Big C supposed to come on next week.
Okay.
Me and Tiff was hollering at him earlier. He gonna come on next week. So we got Big C next week. That's the plan. That's what
shout out to Tiff. She's been doing her thing. Really,
Tiff is our third co-host.
Shout out to Candace Kugler.
Shout out to Candace. Matter of fact, let's just talk about it real quick before we roll. So today is Friday.
Yes, it is.
So if you do the math, 6 days. I did slow for you slow nigga.
Let them catch up, man.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying, catch up and mustard. So you got 6 days. Check your fam out. Thursday, we had Tommy T's, the world premiere of Vampire in Oakland. Get your tickets. Please do support. You know, I support the team and everything this team do. I've been a part of this team.
And here, those of y'all who can't make it but still want to support, buy a ticket anyway.
Buy the book. Buy a ticket, support. Buy the book. His book is available on Amazon,
but let me clarify something to him right quick. I'm not necessarily saying buy that ticket so you can put money in my pocket or buy that book to put money in my pocket. But if you buy these type of things, Google tracks pretty much everything.
Yeah.
And when the algorithm starts showing that there's some things happening financially in regards to music and movies and books and stuff that are coming out of Oakland,
we trying to make shit happen.
Google will then say to people, people like this. So there's other creatives in the Bay Area that when they're doing things, Google will suggest it to those other people. So if you support us, by default, you are literally going to be supporting all the Bay Area creators because they also benefit from this. And just like if there's some other Bay Area creative and their stuff sells, Google will then start suggesting my stuff to them. And thus, we always say, well, we like to see more content for us, but, about us, by us. And the Bay Area is one of those last places that we do things our own way.
We the golden
This
nugget.
is the home of the Black Panthers. We create our own music,
Candace,
our
you
own
don't come
sound,
say, hey,
this and that. So we really need to be able to
Candace,
support.
we're going to get Candace to come on. Candace, take him out.
Candace is...
Take my mask off?
Well, you come.
Yes, Candace is the Candace is one of the stars of the
she's
movie.
She's the star of the movie. Candace, come real quick before we roll out of here tonight. Say hey.
Hello, everyone.
This is Candace Kugler.
Hi,
Yes,
Candace.
the last name is synonymous with film production, and yes, that is her family.
She's an extremely talented actress, and this is actually going to be your second movie, right? Your first one was what, Kendrick?
Mm-hmm.
Actually, this is your third movie because you did Kendrick, you did Dead Rappers,
Dead
and
Rapper.
Vampire Open.
now.
And shout out to the guys that
And
did
y'all got
Kendrick the
another one
movie.
coming. I think it was called Love and Aliens or
Love
something.
and Aliens.
Yeah.
And
Love and
I'm gonna be in
Aliens.
the second season of the show Evolve.
Shout out to Hooker Boy.
Hooker
And
Boy,
Mac
film.
Ream and Ren and
All
all
them.
them.
Shout
Shireen
out to
and them,
all
all
them,
them good
man.
people over there.
It's
Seminary
network.
Tiff.
You know,
My boy Day Day. A lot of Evolve is a really cool series. A lot of people that's been putting it down in the town for a long time.
right. Shout out
are
to my
part of
boy
it.
Aesop. You know,
Oh yeah,
Ambition
Eastside
Ladies.
Ambition. Yes, indeed.
You know,
my boy,
he's been-
because
he's
San
a friend
Francisco
of
and
the show.
Oakland together.
You know what I'm saying? I'm about us. I promote us all day.
Ambition Ladies.
Yes, you are
Yes,
a
you
model
are.
with Ambition Ladies, and your pictures are
Fire. Maurice Chapman.
fire. Shout out to Mark
Shout out
Chapman.
Maurice Chapman.
That's a good brother, man. I love
Real
Brother
talented
Chapman, man.
photographer too.
Yeah, him. Shout out to him, Maurice Chapman and Kingmakers. You know, I'm a shout out to people, man.
Yeah, big shout out to Kingmakers. Some of the
Kingmakers, they
things
doing
that they doing in the
things.
community is really
Beautiful.
inspiring to me, and I hope to get up on that level really
Hey,
soon.
I already told Maurice. I told him we working on trying
And
to get the
Sam's
schedules.
house and everybody.
Sam, that's bro. But so, Candace, tell the people where they can find you at.
On Instagram at Kendra the Model Tycoon. That's Kendra the Model _Tycoon. Where else? And on Facebook and Ambition Ladies. I'll be right there.
And yeah, catch us at Tommy T's this Thursday coming up the 19th.
That's right.
Thursday, the show starts, I believe, at 6.
The show starts at 7. Doors
7,
open at
5,
6:30.
6:30. Come
there
watch the
or
movie,
square.
man. Support black, ownership.
Don't
We
meet
try
us
to
there,
own-
meet us there.
You know what I'm saying?
Let me pull up
That's-
and see you.
It's the only way we can think outside the box and come back and destroy the box if you support the people who think outside the box, because we ain't doing it for ego or selfishness.
Right.
We doing it for everybody. Everything is sacrifice, and
Because even though you might just see our faces, there's hundreds of people behind us.
hundreds,
You
and
know what I'm saying?
we uplift all them, and at the end of the day, it's for us. So we finna roll out. It's Friday. I once again, I appreciate everyone who took the time to tune in. If you commented, and Candace, I'd love to have you on the show. It's all good, and I already
She's
know
a
the
life
connection.
coach. She's a life coach
Yeah.
and a motivational speaker
we will-
and a healer. And
We gonna have that discussion. I got you carte blanche. It's all good. It's all Esau. So we already know. To everybody else who tuned in, Lamar, like I said,
Mike
because of
Chambers.
Mac watching, Mike Chambers, Dwayne Akins, that brother. Hey, y'all definitely need to follow my brother Dwayne Akins Jr. This brother's doing a lot of positive things in our community. Marlon J. West, cousin Kim, Chico, Sister Pringle, Barney B, Brian Ames, Cat Bobineau. Check out Cat Bobineau's
Hello,
podcast
Cat. What's up?
on Wednesdays. In the Know with Cat Bobineau. She
she's
talks
a
about
scientist.
STEM. She's a scientist, a black scientist who's in STEM, biology. We touch everybody. My bro Tim Duncan, Murder Dubs, all day. You know what I do. I represent it all day. Jermaine Cole, Lisa Finney, Sister Armstrong.
Lisa Finney, truly talented actress
Talented.
in the Bay Area.
And Lisa, you tuning in, we got to get you here. But as usual, we having fun.
Big
I hope
Rob
y'all
Hankins.
learned some.
Like
Rob
Willie
Hankins.
Sharp.
Oh, the lifestyle. Oh, bro got on. Yeah, lifestyles of Willie Sharp, my bro. That's my bro. I appreciate everybody tuning in. Like I said, it's Friday. You could be anywhere in the world, but you chose to click on and tune in with us, and I humbly appreciate that from the soles of my eagle claw feet, and my feet are ugly, but I really appreciate that because you could have did anything else in the world. You could have listened to some misogynistic
Amen.
rap or some other bullshit, but you roll with us. I appreciate it. So as usual, now it's time to say goodbye
To
to all my
our
Negro
Negro
friends.
friends.
Hey man, one love, man. Appreciate it.